The Catspaw Dagger is something that a lot of us had completely forgotten about, until it started popping up everywhere in the Season 7 promo material, and our interest in its mystery increased by far after we saw it pictured in the book that Sam was reading in the first episode, especially since this book came from the restricted area in the Citadel's library. All we know about this dagger so far is that it was used to try to kill Bran. We know that it belonged to Littlefinger at some point, and it more than likely is back in Littlefinger's possession now. We know that its blade is made of Valyrian steel, and its hilt is made of dragon bone. The books give no further description of it, except maybe this line from Joffrey, which is kinda vague. But the show has allowed us to see more details on it, and I will mention that in a bit. The fact that the dagger is pictured in this really old book, where the old civilization of Valyrians is mentioned, gives us the idea that this dagger may be older than we thought. It may date back to the time when Aegon I was alive, or even further back. And even though we don't see the number of the dagger image referenced anywhere in the text, I would say that the writers are trying to tell us something about this dagger, and it wouldn't be surprising if that something is in fact related to what the text around it is saying. This text right here is talking about the Valyrians using dragonglass to decorate their weapons, and that is a bit confusing since we've never heard of this dagger having dragonglass decorations. This is where I wanted to talk about the details on the dagger that we can see in the show. This gem right here looks like a ruby, and it definitely could be, but what if it isn't? What if it is dragonglass? If you're thinking that this is impossible because dragonglass is supposed to be black, let me show you a quote from the book said by Stannis. On Dragonstone, where I had my seat, there is much of this obsidian to be seen in the old tunnels beneath the mountain. Chunks of it, boulders, ledges. The great part of it was black, as I recall, but there was some green as well, some red, even purple. So, there you have it. Dragonglass can in fact be red. But why does that matter? Why are they showing us this? Well, the text on the next page may be the answer to that question. It says that dragonglass, when ingested, can be used to cure illnesses. And this text is written with a very skeptical tone, characteristic of any maester. We heard Archmaester Ebros say that it is a maester's job to doubt everything. And so it's not surprising to get a sense that whoever wrote this didn't believe in these healing properties of dragonglass. But the fact that they're showing us this text at all means that it will work for that exact purpose. And yes, I strongly agree with everyone who believes that this will be the cure for Jorah's grayscale. But the fact that it was on the page right after the picture of the dagger makes me think that the writers may want us to connect these two things together as well. Could this dagger not only serve to kill the White Walkers, but to do some sort of healing as well? Maybe combining dragonglass with Valyrian steel into one weapon causes some sort of magical reaction. Valyrian steel is already supposed to be somewhat magical, as it is said to have been forged with spells and dragonfire. And not only that, but what if that magical reaction is increased by adding dragonbone to it? Dragonbone, as the name says, comes from dragon bones, and dragons are magical creatures. To top it all off though, this stone, whether it's a ruby or red dragonglass, reminds me a lot of the ruby on Melisandre's choker, which we know for a fact to be magical too. Could we have been led to believe that her stone is a ruby when in fact it is red dragonglass? Maybe. In a Melisandre chapter from A Dance with Dragons, it is stated that the ruby can get darker. Darker like black dragonglass perhaps? Not only that, but Mance, who is wearing a ruby around his wrist for the glamour illusion to work on him, claims that the ruby feels warm, and even burns him sometimes in his dreams, where he also sees Melisandre's lips turn into teeth, which could mean that she is turning into a dragon in his dreams. Dragons and dragonglass are very closely related, so maybe that's what her rubies truly are. I feel like there is a huge connection here amongst all of this. The one thing I am strongly leaning towards is that this dagger has some magical powers attached to it. And this also makes me remember Bran. I wonder if we would have seen a strange reaction from him if he had been stabbed with it during his process of opening his third eye to become the next Three-Eyed Raven. Maybe the secret subplot there was in fact R'hllor fighting the Great Other once again. In the book, Melisandre also relates Bran and the Three-Eyed Raven to the Great Other, more than once. So this Ice and Fire subplot really seems to be popping up in a lot more places than we originally noticed. But yes, this dagger, what is its importance? Will the magic infused into it make it the only weapon that can defeat the Night King? Will this dagger have some sort of healing abilities? Will it be able to reverse the Night King's abilities? Kind of like when the Children of the Forest stabbed Benjen with dragonglass to stop him from fully becoming a wight. Many questions without answers, but I think it is safe to say that this weapon will play a major role in the endgame. But hey, it's going to end up on Arya's hips soon, so make of that what you will. And I know making connections between the show and the books is usually a long shot, but you never know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Leave a like if you like this video, click on the bell to not miss my next upload. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one!